Hey, it's Alex, and today we'll be looking at Pokemon data. In this video, I'm going to show you all the types of Pokemon and their popularity in a pie chart, as well as the distribution of types of Pokemon within each of the first 6 generations, and the strongest Pokemon in each stat of that. So I'm getting this Pokemon data from this website, Kaggle.com, this will be in the description, and we've got all these stats about all the Pokemon from Gen 1 through 6. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize this for you. So let's open up R and let's be the coolest kids in school. So this is all of the Gen 1 through 6 Pokemon types in a pie chart. And as you can see, the most popular type is water. Probably no surprise. But then we get into normal and flying, and grass and psychic are up there too. So these are the 5 most popular types of Pokemon. I've included the first type as well as a secondary type. So if you're a grass poison, you count as both grass and poison. And this kind of makes sense. Every generation we get a bunch of water Pokemon, a bunch of normals, and a bunch of flying. And we see Bug is just under Psychic. I didn't know there were that many Psychic Pokemon. And Ground Fire is only about 5%. And we get down here and we see Ice, Fairy, and Ghost, and Steel are pretty low. So if you really want to make your party a little special and unique, you can put one of these or a couple of these types of Pokemon in there. So let's go on to the next chart I made. This is the stat distribution of speed, HP, attack, defense, special attack, and special defense across each type of Pokemon. So on the far left, I have speed. So we can see here that flying is the fastest on average Pokemon in Gen 1 through 6. And then we have electric and dragon. And the slowest Pokemon Gen 1 through 6 looks like steel, fairy, and rock. Next we have HP. The highest HP Pokemon are dragon, ice, and normal, with the lowest being ghost, poison, and bug. So you can kind of see a trend here where there's a few at the top of each of these stats and a bunch in the middle and then a few very low. So especially like defense here, we have rock, we have steel at the top, rock, and then ground. And these are pretty high up here. And then at the bottom, you see it's a very low average of defense. And this is poison, normal, and electric. And I skipped over the attack one. So the highest average attack are fighting, say dragon, then fighting, then dark. And we said defense was steel, rock, and ground. The highest special attack looks like dragon, psychic, and fire. Makes sense. And the highest special defense looks like dragon, psychic, and steel. If you want to soak in any of these charts for yourself, just pause the video and take a look at the X and Y axis yourself. And I'm going to go on to the next charts where I go through the type distribution of each of the 6 generations. So you get to see how many of each type of Pokemon they put into each generation. So Gen 1 had a lot of poison, water, and normal types. And it might be kind of surprising at first, because in the overall we saw that poison was only about 5% of all Pokemon, but it was 15% practically in the first generation. So this kind of makes sense. I have the Pokemon database up here, and if you search poison, you see Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur were all half poison. And we've got these bug types, Arbok, all of the Nidorino, Nidoran Pokemon, Glooms, Vileplumes, Zubats, Venonats, and of course your coughing, wheezing Haunter. So I was pretty surprised that poison was the most popular, even surpassing water. But if you look back at the series, it kind of makes sense. So, and you see here there was looks like only 1 dark Pokemon, 2 steel Pokemon, and fairy. Fairy wasn't introduced until later generations, so I think they must have went back and recategorized them as fairy. And I think this was like Clefable or something, Clefairy. Yeah, Clefairy and Clefable were turned from normal to fairy later. Alright, so that's the Gen 1 types. Let's go on to Gen 2. Gen 2 sort of followed the same trend as the overall Pokemon types. We've got flying, water, and normal as the most popular ones. Then we've got a decent amount of bug, ground, and fire types as well. So let's look at Gen 2 flying types. We get Hoot Hoot and Noctowl, Lediba, Ledian, what else? Hoppip, Jumpluff, Yanma, Farfetch, Natu, Xatu. Oh, and of course the legendaries flying as well. Okay, Gen 3. Gen 3 is when we start to see a bunch of water, psychic, and grass types. Let's look at the waters. Got our starters, Seaking, Tentacruel, a bunch of new water Pokemon introduced. Yeah, and a psychic. Oh, the Ralts family. What else? Spoink and Grumpig, Lunatone and Solrock, Claydol, Chimicho? And then we've got our Beldum, Seared, Metagross, and the legendaries. Let's hop over to Gen 4. We see a more sort of even distribution. We've got about the same amount of normal, grass, and flying, as well as water, ground, and steel. And you can start to see the special ones are really fire, in this case, ice, dark, dragon, and electric in general. So let's scroll over the Gen 4s. Fun fact, Gen 4 was my first shiny Pokemon. It was a shiny Shinx, and I didn't even know what shiny Pokemon were at the time of catching this. So I was like, why is that one yellow? And I was like, I should probably catch it. So I did. So here's Gen 4. We've got our Vespiquen, a lot of the evolutions of previous Pokemon. Gen 5 and 6 I'll just sort of skim over. Gen 5 they're sort of putting the same flying, grass, and normal water, as well as bug fighting and dark in there. And Gen 6, this is pretty surprising. We have a lot of grass, ghost, and fairy, and also rock. That's pretty interesting. These are usually some of the least popular types in the total combined. You got fairy, rock, and grass. So it's pretty interesting that they decided to put a lot more of these different types up here. So now I'm going to show you the highest stat Pokemon, both legendary and non-legendary. So these are the top 10 Pokemon with the highest HP stat. We have Blissey, no surprise, Chansey, Wobbuffet, Wailord, and then the rest down there. And then the highest HP legendaries are the Giratina and the XY legendaries. The highest attackers looks like Mega Heracross has the highest attack, Mega Garchomp and Mega Bayonet. The hardest hitting legendaries, Mega Mewtwo, no surprise, Primal Groudon, Mega Rayquaza. For defense, the highest defense non-legendaries are Mega Steelix and Shuckle. My friend Brett hates Shuckle, but hey, Mega Aggron and Steelix. Highest defense legendaries are Regirock, Primal Groudon, and Deoxys defense form. The highest special attack, take a guess. 3, 2, 1. Mega Alakazam with 175. Then Mega Gengar, Mega Ampharos, Mega Corvora. Then highest special attack legendary, Mega Mewtwo Y, Primal Kyogre, Mega Rayquaza. And we've got a few more here. Guess what the highest special defense non-legendary is? Ready? Shuckle! Highest special defense legendary, Regice, Primal Kyogre, Deoxys defense form. The last one here is speed. Looks like the highest speed is Ninjask, Mega Alakazam, and Mega Aerodactyl, with the highest speed legendary, Deoxys speed form, and the other Deoxys forms. So let's rewind a little bit and see what we learned in this video. We saw that the most popular Pokemon types seem to be water, normal, and flying, and the least popular types seem to be ice, fairy, and ghost. And interestingly, not every generation seems to inject new Pokemon of these types in each one. For example, the first generation showed a lot of poison types, along with the 3 most popular. And Gen 2 showed the same trend, but Gen 3 showed a lot of psychic and grass, which is pretty cool. Gen 4 introduced a little more grass, and ground and steel and electric. Gen 5, a lot of more grass. And Gen 6, a lot of fairy and ghost. And in this video, we also got to see the distribution of each type's specialties in terms of stats. So it looks like flying, electric, and dragon seem to have the upper end in speed, while, say, steel, rock, and ground had the edge in defense. So I hope you guys learned something in this video. If you did, please leave a like, as I'm just starting off on YouTube. I'm sort of trying to see if these visualization things are something people want. I really try to give you guys some access to cool stats that nobody else really offers, and this is all from open data sets and processed through me. So I try to teach you things that you can't find on any other website or any other channel, and visualize it especially for you guys. I saw that I got 6 new subscribers in the past week or so, and I just wanted to welcome you guys to the channel and let you know that I'm really excited to keep making stuff for you. Please comment what else you'd like to see, if you like these videos or if you like the reviews more. Should I do a combination of both? Let me know. So thanks, it's been Alex, and I'll see you in the next video.